it's like you're active and successful in the industry, but it's in a different area that people don't always like, you know, interview and bring on a talk show. But I think it's so interesting, you know, but it's all creative, and I love music, you know. So it's like, are there certain people out there, I don't know if people, any of them would know them, but that you kind of like, whose careers you've looked at, like I really want to have a career like that, or just people who've been massively successful?
Yeah, I mean, growing up as a kid, I wanted to be the next John Williams, and I bet 9 out of 10 composers will probably say that. Just, he's one of the very few people, especially at the time when I was, 12, 13, that had actually transcended out of the industry to become a household name. We're conducting the Boston Pops and everything that he had done, and he was involved in a lot of major blockbuster films with these memorable themes. So I would have loved, to have his success, and he's a huge inspiration for me. But
you have a long way ahead of you, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm saying when I was 12, right? Looking ahead, I mean, that was sort of who I was modeling my career after.
I'm like, so he's 100.
But since I've come out here, there are so many talented composers that we have to look up to, and it seems like every day there's somebody else that's doing something amazing out there. It's a huge field of competition, but also inspiration, and I've been lucky to have some really wonderful mentors since moving out here, and just having the opportunity to work on some really high profile projects with them, learning from them every day. Chris Lennertz is a composer that I've done work for, and he's been really fantastic. Every time I'm over there, I learn something from, whether it be the actual writing that he's doing, or just the way that he's interacting with the director or producers, the way he runs his operation. I'm currently working with Ron Fish in the video game world. We're working on the new Batman video game, and
fun!
It is fun. The music he's writing is phenomenal. It's so exciting. Every time I go over there, I just hear what he's up to and get inspired. So, and he's got a completely different model than Chris does. That's part of the exciting thing for me, is that everybody has their own approach to it. So, and the more that I'm around the business, the more I'm recognizing that there is no right way. And I think for the last 3 years, a lot of my time I've been spending trying to figure that out. What is the best way? And there's a lot of cynicism in the business as well, I have to say. It's not an easy path for anybody. I was actually just talking to a composer about this literally on the way here, that if you're not passionate about what we do, it's really not a smart idea at all, because there's so many easier ways to go about making a living than in our industry. But
that's probably a lot of areas in the industry.
Probably, yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, acting is no easier, directing, writing, and anything. I mean, and I'm sure there are other careers in completely unrelated industries that are the same way, But the more time I spend out here, and the more I'm understanding myself, the more that I'm coming to a place where I'm recognizing just being of service and being available, and however I can be contributing, whether it's on a music team or whether it's on my own project or I'm working as a composer, that the details can kind of take care of itself. I think for a lot of the last couple of years, there's been a lot of fear, really, of like, well, how am I going to do it? How is it all going to work out? Is it all going to work out? And there's a lot this sort of mindset of everybody's on their own and nobody knows where the next paycheck's coming from, and it can be really consuming, and it can be really dominating, and I've been there. And so for me, I think what I've learned most is it is sort of a faith thing, but also that there's a huge amount that becomes available when you take the focus off yourself and you start looking at what is there to contribute, and just a bigger side.
Look at every aspiring actor, director, musician out there, please take heed to that message.
And believe me,
it's so true.
I'm learning this as I'm speaking it. It's not like I figured it out, but I just know where I've made my mistakes over the last couple years.
It's really making me think, seriously. It's really great, because you get, the thing is, you start to fear, how am I going to take care of myself, or how am I going to reach my goals, or how am I going to reach my dreams and all of that.
Right.
And like you're talking about faith, I think you have to, move forward in faith, but with a plan,
Yeah.
And then, sometimes your timing will, be off somewhere. I mean, it has been my entire career, but I've had a lot of great surprises come up, things I never would have planned. Where it's like, whoa, I had no idea,
Right.
things that just like blessings that just dropped where it's like, wow. But it's that makes a lot of sense though, where you're not thinking about, especially in this industry, very ego-based industry.
Yeah.
It's hard to like take that focus off yourself. Let me not think about myself, but like what you're talking about. That's a great way that you described it.
Oh, thank you.